Well, I'm Al Ferguson, lead anchor at Queer News Tonight. Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network welcomes you to the 25th anniversary year of one of the world's most important LGBTQ plus cultural events, celebrating queer film. The Outshine Film Festival has its triumphant return to Fort Lauderdale from October 19th to 29th, 2023. This special program is going to explore the highlights and the best moments coming for the 15th anniversary of the Fort Lauderdale edition. To help us, we have brought together a dazzling array of talent. Let's welcome Jennifer Kriz. She has a long history of representing lesbians and queer women at the Outshine Film Festival and serves as the vice chair of the board for the festival. Let's welcome Bonnie Builder. Bonnie represents this unique brand of drag queen and then badass fitness instructor bodybuilder. She is an activist for the Black community, and her sharp eye and more importantly, her sharp tongue will give us a unique perspective of the Outshine Film Festival. Let's welcome Faye What? She represents lesbians and queer women and is a well-known television personality and the host of the Faye What Show, Mondays at 9 a.m. and then on demand on Roku, Apple TV, and all streaming platforms on the Happening Out Television Network. Let's welcome Dino Mascaro. He represents the Latino community and has vast film experience with the Outshine Film Festival, including the Outshine Miami Edition Selection Committee Chair. Let's also welcome John Hayden. He's the community editor and senior reporter at Out South Florida, and John's long career in network television has allowed him to interview countless movie and television stars. And finally, let's welcome Joe Balancio, literally one of the world's most well-known and respected LGBTQ plus film experts. As the Outshine Film Festival's program director, he has seen all 60 plus films in this year's festival. Wait, just a minute. I understand all 60 plus films but one. I can't wait to find out which one that was. Outshine Film Festival, Saturday, October 21st. Movies from noon to midnight. The first Saturday of the Outshine Film Festival is filled with amazing films that will run from noon to midnight, all at Fort Lauderdale's Gateway Theater. Here are some of your choices. Summer Qamp, and by the way, that's spelled with a Q. This documentary from Canada was a triumph at the Toronto Film Festival. At Camp Firefly in rural Alberta, queer, non-binary, and trans teens get to just be kids in a supportive space surrounded by counselors who can relate to their experience and help from the ability to toast the perfect marshmallow. I Love You More, a submission from Kosovo and Albania. After a year of online pillow talk, Ben, a shy Kosovo teen, is exhilarated to finally meet his first but secret love, Leo. The much-needed desire to be romantically loved forces Ben to put his family and his dreams online for the boy he never met. Going to Mars. From the USA, this film takes a look at the life of poet Nikki Giovanni and the revolutionary historical periods through which she lived, from the Civil Rights Movement to Black Lives Matter. Winner of the Grand Jury Prize in the U.S. documentary competition at Sundance. You can choose Pinecone, a submission from India. This is a semi-autobiographical film that narrates the story of an out and proud filmmaker, Sid Mehra, falling in love for the first time and becoming cynical about love and the changing landscape of queer rights in India over 2 decades. The backdrop of the story follows the changing landscape of queer rights in India. 1999, when the first gay pride took place. 2009, when the Delhi High Court decriminalized homosexuality, a ruling they overturned in 2012. and finally in 2019 when homosexuality had been decriminalized by the Supreme Court of India. Another great choice is Housekeeping for Beginners, a submission from Macedonia and presented at the Venice International Film Festival. A queer woman, her gay friend, and his new boyfriend are forced to raise the woman's daughters. Complicating the situation is the fact that she herself does not want to be a mother. Together, they will make their own definition of family with plenty of laughing and crying along the way. Then there's the Persian version. From the USA, the film was the winner of the Audience Award and Best Screenplay Award at Sundance. When a large Iranian-American family gathers, a family secret is uncovered that catapults the estranged mother and daughter into an exploration of the past and to discover they are more alike than they really knew. Liuben, presented from Bulgaria and featured at the Guadalajara Film Festival in a Bulgarian mountain village where prejudice simmers. A summer romance begins between two boys from different worlds. This is one of the very few LGBT films from Bulgaria. The film is a filmmaking triumph. There's also You're Not Me, presented from Spain. This is one of the Outshine Film Festival's After Dark programs to celebrate Halloween. Alana returns home for Christmas, the first time with her partner and their son, to find that her parents have replaced her with an unknown woman who is being treated like their daughter. So what do we think, Joe, about this big day at the Outshine Film Festival? One of the first things I want to ask you about that jumps off the page for me is I want to ask you about the international list of the Outshine Film Festival. My goodness, the variance of film from all over the world is just breathtaking. Was that an intended choice, or was it just by accident?
It's not. We always appreciate that. We appreciate, domestic films as well as international films. And our audience, the good thing I could say about the audience is they really appreciate whatever we show. So, we have that ability where some audiences are afraid, I don't want to read subtitles, or I don't get what just happened, those kind of things. And we rarely get those comments from our audience. So it's nice to be able to program to that kind of an audience.
I'm sorry to interrupt you a minute, Joe. Could you tell us again one more time, how do they say that?
They go, I don't like it. And half the time it is undecipherable anyway. So I'll just say, okay, smile and move on. But it really is, it's sort of whatever fits the festival, and what fits our festival may not fit another festival. And so it really is just sort of keying in on our audience. And I think I did a really good job this night. It's really, really not only international, but so, variety of storylines. And I always love documentaries that sort of either about a person, but you don't really know about them. And whether Nikki Giovanni or not, Going to Mars is phenomenal. It's probably one of my favorite, if not films, but documentaries. And again, it's somebody you may know about. You may know her poem. You may know, her fight for civil rights, but you may not really know her. And it really illuminates that. The same thing with summer camp. I want to applaud these kids. I mean, here are kids literally 15, 16, 17 years old who have never really been away from home or able to be who they are, non-binary or trans. And here they are just sort of being kids and at the same time adults at this summer camp. So, phenomenal. But the Persian version is probably the most fun you'll have. It's just a cultural story, sort of fish out of water. It's a mother-daughter story. It's about a lesbian who gets impregnated by a straight drag queen. What's not to love? And right there, musical numbers abound. So as it won the Audience Award at Sundance, I think it's fitting.
I was going to say that's what I was going to say. When you're the audience winner at Sundance Film Festival, you're in pretty good company for film. And now at Outshine Film Festival, you get to see that.
This is one of the things that I love about film festivals. I mean, I know I'm probably different than most people in this regard, but I love film festivals are to showcase stories from different cultures, different than ours. You know, I know we love American, you know, films, and we, you know, showcase a lot of them, and they're very good. But to see stories that reflect the life of gay people somewhere else in the world, like this story from Bulgaria, for example, or, you know, from Egypt, or any other place different than ours, you know, we also get to see, you know, Spanish stories that, you know, more familiar to us, or Canadian. But to see stories from places like Bulgaria, it, to me, is
India.
India.
Oh my God.
That is amazing to me. So this is a unique opportunity for people here in Broward County and in Miami-Dade County and Palm Beach County to come and see stories that you will not see anywhere else. So,
And for me, it's the relatability. Like, you know, I want to go see You're Not Me. You know, I have like a troubling relationship with my mom, and she would constantly say things like, our relationship would be different if you weren't gay. Right? So can you imagine just coming home for a holiday with your boo and there's someone there replacing you, and they're calling her Faye what? I mean, you know, I've got to see this movie. You know, this one, and also the Housekeeping for Beginners is also one that I really want to see. When I first came out, I had a steady girlfriend, and we had decided to find a gay boy to, you know, give us the sperm that we needed, and that we would all collectively raise the child, right? I came to my senses, and it didn't happen. But the storyline is fantastic, and I want to go see that.
You know,
Now, the Faye what story?
turkey basters and mixing bowls. You know, I would just love to see that. I'd just like to, well, first off, I want to say I'm really excited about Summer Camp with a Q. One of my girlfriends saw it at TIFF a couple weeks ago and said, I'm not going to tell you, and she said, I'm not going to tell you anything about it, but John, you're going to love it. So I'm really, really excited about that. And I just want to talk for a moment about the experiences of noon to midnight screening at a film festival. This isn't like, and yeah, it's all sort of a gay theme, but this isn't like, oh, we're going to watch all 9 Star Wars movies. We're going to watch, you know, all 11 Harry Potter movies for 48 hours. But you're in this environment where you're just soaking in and enjoying film. And you're not going to remember every character, but you're going to remember the experience of seeing them. And you're going to be seeing them with other people who are just like you. They're film lovers who want to come and see films that you're not going to be able to see at the multiplexes most weeks of the year. So it's a really great vibe. And if you can't go all 12 hours, that's okay. But bring floss, because you're going to eat a lot of popcorn.
And a blanket.
Yeah, blanket.
I also want to specifically call out You're Not Me.
I think Joe wants to say something. I'm sorry.
Oh, Joe, go ahead, Joe.
Go ahead, Joe.
It's just that some people, as much as we joke about that, some people will see all 4 or 5 movies in a day and then complain that they couldn't see more.
I do.
Go ahead.
Everyone's a critic.
So specifically with the film You're Not Me, if you want to see unique stories, go watch a horror movie. I am a huge queer horror nerd, and I've never heard of a story quite like You're Not Me. Like, it's so incredibly unique. And also films like You're Not Me, Pinecone, the Persian version, the unique cinematography and beautiful cinematography in these films are just reasons to like get up and go in the theater. You want to see this in like the fullest version on a big screen, loud. You want to lose your hearing at the end of it. These films look so beautifully made and have unique stories that we got to go see it.
It's our first big day of the 10-day festival. Saturday is the first of the 2 big days. The 2 Saturdays are the big ones.
And there really is something for every single person.
And gay LGBT people, we don't like choice. We don't want more. We don't care about size. Oh wait, I got all of that wrong.
Oh, look,
so
man.
apparently,
More.
right, exactly. So don't miss it. Outshine Film Festival on Saturday, October 21st. Movies from noon to midnight. You don't want to miss it. We are Queer News Tonight, the world's first and only live daily LGBTQ+ evening news show, brought to you from Happening Out Television Network. We operate in the same model of PBS and NPR, but for the LGBTQ+ community. We educate, inform, and entertain by supporting the 10 pillars of our LGBTQ+ community, with more than 100,000 a week watching us on Roku, Apple Television, and other channels. To keep the story going, we accept donations with 100% transparency. Stay updated and live authentically with Queer News Tonight.